Hello. I hope you can hear me okay. It's kind of late, or kind of early, depending on how you look at things, and, I'm in my basement. Well, I told myself that I would upload this before I went to bed, so, I'm doing that. Okay, I'm gonna get into it. As I said earlier, I was going to do another rant from fmylife.com. This one is a couple days old, but, I knew I had to rant on it, so it was posted 2 days ago, June 2nd. Okay, yeah, 2 days ago, June 2nd, 2011. Okay, and it reads, "Today, a customer had an allergic reaction to the almonds in the sundae I made for her. We're supposed to put almonds on it unless the customer asks otherwise. She complained to my boss that I'd poisoned her. Fuck my life." At this moment, Saturday, June 4th, 42 minutes into the day, so 12:42 a.m. If you don't feel like doing the military time, I like that better, but that's just me. The votes are: I agree your life sucks, 7,107, where I voted, and you totally deserved it, 576. I think this one is pretty simple. As I've said, I give the OP the benefit of the doubt and assume that he or she, in this case he, is being completely honest. Now, and based on that, the onus is clearly on the customer. I mean, if you have an allergy like that could be pretty crippling, like an allergy to nuts or seafood, and I'm just going to take off my glasses, and I don't really like the glare they're giving off. If you have one of those crippling allergies, like to nuts or seafood, you should make sure that it stays as far from your food as possible. Personally, I'm not allergic to nuts. However, I do not like almonds on my ice cream, so, whether or not it's explicitly stated that almonds will or will not be put on the sundae unless the customer says otherwise, I will specify I'd like a hot fudge sundae with this, that, the other, but no almonds or whatever else I don't want on my sundae at the time. This is something I always do. For instance, I go to restaurants, I order a hamburger. I always say that I want a plain hamburger, just meat, the bun, just the burger and the bun. Maybe bacon if it's available, and I feel like having bacon, but no, maybe lettuce on a turkey sandwich. To be honest, I don't use too many condiments. Syrup on pancakes, sauce on spaghetti or on pizza. Oh, pizza already has sauce, but yeah, sauce on the pizza, sauce on pasta. But yeah, no salad dressing. I refuse to put anything on a hamburger or on fries. No onions, mayo, mustard, pickles, and especially no ketchup. Yeah, folks, you heard it here from me. I fucking despise ketchup. I don't like regular tomatoes either, but I'm not going to go into that right now. The point is, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they do not put those on my sandwich. If I order a hamburger and I don't say anything, I say just give me a burger, and they put onions and cheese and ketchup and shit on it, I have absolutely no right to complain. I don't have to eat it, though I really should, because we all know that, that's how it was served to me, and, there are people starving elsewhere in the world. But the fact is, I have no right to complain because I did not stipulate that I do not want those on my food. And based on what I've read here, the customer did not stipulate that she did not want almonds on her sundae. Now, it's possible she didn't know about her allergy, but nonetheless, that doesn't change the fact that she didn't stipulate that she didn't want the almonds. Okay. I'm gonna go into the comments, and since it's kind of late and I want to do another video, I'm gonna be kind of brief. Well, as brief as I can, rather. You know how I tend to be long-winded. Am I done in time again? Okay, it's not too bad. Alright, here goes. Comment number 12. Well, before I read that one, comment number 1 is maybe she didn't know you were going to put almonds on it, so she couldn't ask otherwise. Well, that may be true, but as number 7 points out, so when you're buying something you don't care about checking what you're paying for, you just assume it's what you want. Number 12 is customer is a dumb bitch, and I'm sure your boss knows it. Don't worry too much. Nuts are a common ice cream topping. If she had half a brain, she would have been more diligent. Number 12 obviously means vigilant, because diligent means hardworking. But number 12 is basically correct. Number 36 says IKR. I have a nut allergy, and I always, capitals by the way, check to make sure what I'm buying doesn't have nuts in it. 63. A couple ice cream stores I've been to asked me if I wanted nuts on my sundae. I thought everyone asked this question to avoid situations like this. And that really makes sense, because, I don't know how common nut allergies are. I know they're fairly common, but I don't know just how common. And but yeah, it would seem to me that, how they always have those warning labels on things like granola bars and even peanut butter. This product contains nuts, or it was made and may contain traces of peanuts, or it was made with machines that also handle nuts, things like that. People are given fair warning, and if you're too stupid to read the label before you consume the product, you have absolutely no right to complain, and if it kills you, well, hey, that's one less illiterate jackass on the planet. One fewer. No, it will be one less. Well, who gives a shit which one it is? Is there anything else we want here? Number 95. Almonds aren't nuts. What are you, fucking stupid? Well, never mind that, obviously. And I'm gonna bring that up. I've seen many comments on YouTube. I've had a couple debates with troll types, and I have seen and heard things, not just on YouTube, but in everyday life, on TV, and just at school and places like that, where I hear something, I see somebody do something, I hear them say something, and I can't help thinking something along the lines of, are you stupid? Are you sick? Are you insane? Are you mad? Things of that nature. And I have found that, I've noticed that when you find yourself asking, well, here's the thing, if you have to ask the question, are you stupid? That generally indicates that there's some degree of doubt. You can't really tell if this person's really stupid or not. It could just be an act. You never know. But when you that's if you have to ask. If you find yourself just saying, after hearing what the person did, you might say something like, you believe gay marriage should be illegal because it's an abomination to the Lord. Are you fucking insane? Well, there you go. The fact that I found myself asking the question almost involuntarily should indicate that I already know the answer. The answer is yes. This individual is fucking insane and should immediately be shot. Okay. Number 2, she really should have told you she was allergic to almonds. Didn't she see them in the sundae? Number 15, OP. Hey, look at these flat, chewy, almondy little bits. I wonder what they are. That is, of course, what the customer said. I was just directing it at the OP. Number 65. Hey, I'll have the nutty surprise. Gives the ice cream eats. Oh my goodness, this is almonds. You poisoned me. That's really true, Number 3, you should know what's in what you're eating, especially if you have any allergies. That was not on you, OP. You were just doing your job the way you were taught to do it. Number 4, if she didn't like nuts in her mouth, she shouldn't have jerked around and came forth to tell you. Okay, number 8. Ironically, this person has Batman as his or her avatar. But comment number 8 reads, what kind of stupid place do you work for? No one's going to assume that there's almonds on it. That woman does have a right to complain, not particularly about you since you have to do that, but about whoever made up that stupid rule. Number 18, and here are the reply. Well, I don't think I'll read all the replies, but the first reply is comment number 18, which reads, what kind of a comment is that? The customer shouldn't assume, oh fuck, almonds in my sundae, motherfucking criminals trying to poison me. She should have acted more rationally and been more aware of what's in her food. Number 23. I used to work at a Ben & Jerry's place, and a woman once sent in a really little kid about 5 over to get his own ice cream. She came back and went batshit at me because I gave him an ice cream that had nuts in it and he was allergic. My response, he chose it, and that was clearly poor parenting on your part. Probably has no idea he can't have nuts. He's 5. If you knew he was allergic, you should have been supervising him. Most people I know that have an allergy check everything before they buy it. Number 25, and this is an example of stupidity that means some people should not be allowed out on their own. Number 39, I think people should ask before putting almonds on the sundaes. It's not OP's fault, but there should be some changes, especially with allergenic products, nuts, chocolate, fish, etc. And that's really true. You know, if you ask me, sandwiches and ice cream dishes and things of that nature should be served plain, unless the customer stipulates otherwise, and of course a full list of all toppings should be in clear sight. And that way, we'll probably reduce the number of situations like this, because, I mean, I think any intelligent organism would agree with me that if you leap without looking, you have no right to complain about anything that happens as a direct result of leaping without looking. I mean, you know, if I sign up for a job at a preschool, I have absolutely no right to complain when I find myself having to help a preschooler wipe his little ass. I have no right to complain. But I do have every right to complain if he deliberately shits in my hand. And I would complain if he shits in my hand. Now, of course, we all know that complaining, sometimes, depending on the exact nature of the complaint and the whole circumstances and everything, it might not get you very far, and probably won't, but that won't stop us from doing it. Certainly won't stop me at some times. Number 41, if you're allergic to something, you should always ask. I don't ask a customer, oh, you're buying nuts, are you allergic to them? If you have allergies, always ask. Don't expect to be asked. As for 8 people, like, you should be put in a room, never to be let out with stupidity like that. Number 50, usually the fact that it has... number 57 is a good one. 8, shame on you. The real Batman wouldn't side with villainous customers like her. He would side with the employee he got wrongfully accused of poisoning. I'd have to ask one of my friends. I'm Captain Falcon, as you may know. That's neither here nor there, of course, but... in all seriousness, though, I think we all agree that Batman's smart enough to realize who the real offender is in this situation. Okay. Okay, number 26 says, you should know that so many people with nut allergies and should ask if they want almonds or any other nut when taking their order. No, the onus is on the customer, because the OP here is the server is just doing his or her job as a server to give the food as it is ordered based on company policy. If the customer does not stipulate that he or she does not want nuts, then it doesn't matter if he or she is allergic to nuts, and those are on the dish because the customer didn't stipulate otherwise. Number 32, I realize that morally and logically you have nothing to feel bad about here, but I'm not sure about the legally. Companies need to put food allergy warnings on even the most obvious products to protect themselves from lawsuits they receive from idiots like the woman in this story. Number 35, and I think I'm going to stop here. Okay, issue number 1. I'm pretty sure she saw almonds on the top. Unless they were mixed in, which I doubt, she would have noticed the nuts there and wouldn't have eaten them. It's looking like her fault already. Issue number 2. Did she see you preparing the sundae? Because most ice cream shops I know prepare the products in front of the customers. In front, by the way, is not one word, sir or madam. And she should have seen you throwing the almonds on top of her sundae. Issue number 3. Why didn't she ask what's on the ice cream? You'd think people with food allergies would be a little more vigilant and serious about these things. I think she's just sad and ignorant for not checking what was on the sundae. Okay. Alright, yeah. Okay, so there's nothing really else too special to say about this one. And I'm gonna do the next video in a few. So, I'll see you next time, my friends, or viewers, or whoever's watching. You're immortal anyway. I'm rambling. See you later.